Um, Hi. So, welcome to the tutorial on how to play Avaricium. This is going to be a multi-part video series. So the idea is that I'm going to explain the rules, but as I'm explaining, kind of because there's a lot of rules. So as I'm explaining each part of the rule set, I'm going to give you some puzzles. Uh, and so it's gonna be like a big like video series, but the hope is that by the end of it we'll have a thorough understanding of the game. um, so in this game there's 11 different kinds of pieces, uh, and there are what's called neutral pieces and player specific pieces. Now what does this mean? So notice how these player specific pieces, they're all blue. Well, that's because they belong to the blue player. Uh, Over here, I have a few other player specific pieces. Uh, so they're all just whatever colors here, right? Um, Colors from other players. You got red, purple, green, gold. Um, yeah, and then you have neutral pieces. So the idea with this game is like, it's medieval themed. You're kind of controlling this faction of nobility, represented by your color, and kind of unique thing about it is that most of the pieces don't belong to any particular player. You got farms and towns, mercenaries, and such, right? So it all depends on kind of who's near those neutral pieces. Uh, so the neutral pieces are actually, created and then used by player-specific pieces, but they don't hold any loyalty um, to any specific player. Uh, so uh, among these player-specific pieces, there's there's one that's particularly important. So these are called the nobility, right? And their main job is to go and interact with these neutral pieces we saw before. So one thing that all player-specific pieces can do, actually, one thing we're kind of going to learn first in this first tutorial, is, well, they can move. So in Avaricium, you take turns, and in a turn, there's a certain number of actions that you could take. Now this number kind of varies, and we'll get into how many actions per turn we have later. But one thing that you could spend your actions on is moving. So you could use one action to move like this in any direction. Takes one action, but you could also and per turn you could spend 2, 3 actions, so on to move. You could also like what you could also do is you could also use, like, if I want to go over here, I could use 3 actions to hop over here because it's 3 away. And I could and this actually becomes kind of different from moving one by one like this. So hopping over here takes 3 actions, and I'm allowed to do that. Okay, I'm allowed to just go from here to here. So for example, if there's something bad over here affecting you, you just want to hop here, you could do that. So one important, very, very important thing is that, look, if there's some pieces in the way right here, it doesn't matter. I could hop over them. If I want to move, say, here, how many actions does it take? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 actions. I spend 4 actions. I can go over here. Okay, very important. Okay, so I think let's get into some puzzles now. So in Avaricium, you could actually have different board sizes. So this is kind of the side of a pretty large board. But for most of our puzzles, we're going to focus on this little board right here. So this is, we say it's like a size 4 board because there's 4 kind of tiles on the side. And yeah, it's actually the smallest board you could play Avaricium on. Okay. So this is the first puzzle, and the question is, how many actions does it take to get any one of your nobility over here? So you're going to be blue, in this case, obviously. But in general, for all these puzzles, we're going to be the blue color. We're going to see that I'm going to add like other pieces of other colors, but we're going to be blue. So this is, of course, it takes 3 actions to get over here. And of course, we could hop over here. We can move 1, 2, 3. In this case, it doesn't matter. But when there's 3 actions to get over here. Okay. So now in this puzzle, again, we're blue. Now it actually does matter. And the idea is how many actions does it take to get any blue piece to that spot. So you could pause the video here if you need to. I'm gonna generally say you could pause the video, but you don't have to if you know the answer, of course. So of course it's 2 actions, so you have the choice of which of these 2 to use, but of course this one's 3 away, this one's 2 away, 1, 2. Okay. Now this first puzzle set is just going to be nice and easy to kind of get us into the groove of things, but I promise the puzzles will get harder. Will get more interesting. So how about this one? So this might be, a tiny bit trickier. Why? Well, let's see. So you could pause if you need to, because I'm about to give the answer. And so the idea is that we could actually hop over here. 1, 2 takes 3 actions to get over here. And you do it like this. It takes 3 actions. Okay. You don't have to walk around, right? That would take 4, but in Avaricium, you could go and hop over here. Okay. So see, I actually just placed these guys here as kind of a barrier to make you. So this is going to be really important, that you could hop over kind of almost any piece. There's one exception, but we'll get into that later. You could hop over pretty much any piece like this. So there's going to be puzzles later on where just remembering this like concept is like really important. It takes 3 actions to get over here. It doesn't matter what's in your way and what's not. Okay. So we're going to do 5 puzzles at a time. This is the 4th one. So maybe you could tell I'm kind of making, putting together these puzzles as you solved the previous one. So if you haven't got it yet, then you can pause the video. And so what is it? How many actions does this take? It takes 2 actions, and then you use this piece right here, 1, 2, to get to this spot. Okay, 1, 2, 2 actions. This one's closer. This one would take 3. Now the final puzzle. So how many actions does this take? You could pause the video here if you need more time. Okay, so this takes 3 actions because it is this piece, right? That no, it's 3 away. This one is 4 away. This one is 4 away, and this one's 3. Okay. Hope you enjoyed this part 1.